Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe looks to be very bleak at this point in time based on Bob Iger's demands and Kevin Feige's focus on the direction of all these movies and TV shows that are being run by Disney into the ground. We all know that everything ranging from their new approach to X-Men to what's happening with Fantastic Four 2025 and the rest coming out that year like Blade and Captain America 4, Brave New World, there's a lot of scenarios that could very well go wrong for 2025 and beyond for Bob Iger, Disney, Kevin Feige, and especially Marvel Studios at that. Now, we already know that the whole Jonathan Majors situation is not a good thing for Disney in the least, not a good thing for Marvel, and of course the future of where it stands. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about the Kang dynasty, which by the way right now is in shambles after Jonathan Majors was found guilty and how he was recently fired by Bob Iger through Disney and Marvel Studios, and this is actually causing a lot of drama and ruckus behind the scenes between the board of directors, Iger, Kevin Feige over at Marvel, and it's not stopping. So there's a lot to actually discuss here and what's going on behind closed doors and how Bob Iger is reacting, and really it's not a good reaction in the least. Let's get into all of this, shall we? Now, the thing about Jonathan Majors is that we know that they set him up in Ant-Man 3 Quantumania as a major character. We also got to see him in other projects that were going to be mapped out by Kevin Feige for the years to come that are no longer happening. However, with Bob Iger currently making all the wrong decisions behind the scenes for the future of both Marvel and Star Wars, one major development has to do with Bob Iger's recent demands at Marvel Studios that is going to impact all mutant-era projects as a result of the recent Jonathan Majors situation. Now, one crucial update to this ongoing drama is that Iger is already rethinking his strategy with the MCU after giving the green light to fire and remove Majors after he was found guilty. To make up for the Kang dynasty and its loss, right now Iger and Feige are reportedly at a standstill on whether or not they want to cancel the entire film and or do a full-on recast of the character to keep the film intact. To make matters worse, Iger is making a dedicated decision right now as a result of firing Jonathan Majors from the Kang dynasty and all future MCU projects, in that this is going to result in using DEI strategies on Doctor Doom becoming a new focus for future MCU-related projects moving onwards. Both Iger and Feige recently agreed to completely divert from source material in their desperate attempt to create a new iteration of Doctor Doom to chase an original take on the character to serve as the proper replacement of Kang and his focus within the Marvel Universe. This is something that many creatives behind the Avengers films are already having issues with as we speak, including the writers of Secret Wars and the Kang Dynasty. Iger already had a recent meeting with those at Marvel Studios, including Marvel boss Kevin Feige, who produces many of the films, to move forward with focusing on Doctor Doom instead of giving him a brand new iteration of the character that will now use the concepts of diversity, equity, and inclusion for not just their upcoming Fantastic Four film, but also for all future films that now involve Doctor Doom in the Avengers movies that's also going to strip itself away from source material. Both Feige and Iger at first had differing opinions on this approach after Majors was fired. However, the move to ramp up DEI as a reaction to Majors getting let go is all deeply connected. Iger is also doubling down on focusing away from using Wolverine in Secret Wars by giving him less screen time as well, and Hugh Jackman has been made aware of this new approach to fine-tune Secret Wars rapidly for 2027. Now guys, before I get to the big conclusion about all of this, let me just say one thing about Bob Iger, is that he's panicking right now. He's obviously not thinking clearly. He wants to ramp up diversity, equity, and inclusion into the tales that will involve Doctor Doom as becoming the new main focus, as opposed to Kang, and how they are also fine-tuning mutant-era content now that's going to be a part of Phase 7, essentially. Now, Kevin Feige and Bob Iger, they have no idea what they are doing, and I'm talking about that as an expression, right? they are really just lost in where they are right now with both the fandom, the community of the Marvel Universe, and they don't really know what direction to truly take that's going to be either a success or a failure. And this all comes as a result as Disney's failed attempts at shoving in agendas, shoving in all these strategies that only tarnish these brands, and it's not going to stop here. So again, Bob Iger really just trying to make up for the loss of Kang and Jonathan Majors, but it's also creating a standstill between Feige and Iger. Now, we'll talk about that in just a second, but to make things short on that front, basically Feige wants to do a full-on recast of Kang, and Iger does not. Iger wants to cancel the Kang dynasty completely and wipe it out from the roadmap and replace it with something new that's going to be Doctor Doom focused. So we'll get to that in just a second. Now, moving onwards, this is where things begin to get a little bit more ugly. Let's get into this. Now, the other move by Iger is to also shift away and focus less on Tobey Maguire's return for Secret Wars as Spider-Man, as they want to make everything more focused with their DEI strategy to the max after firing and losing Majors for the Kang dynasty. Right now, Kevin Feige is already calling on to recast Kang in the film. However, Iger is pushing to cancel the entire film to actually prevent recasting in a desperate move to refrain from potential backlash by Marvel fans and newcomers alike. Now, this is also going to involve Iger canceling many other Marvel projects that were supposed to involve Kang, portrayed by Jonathan Majors. This is exactly why Kevin and Iger are running into a lot of arguments, because Kevin doesn't want to cancel a lot of those projects that were supposed to involve Kang. This goes for not just the films, but also for many of the upcoming seasons or follow-ups to already established Marvel Universe TV shows on Disney+. We'll get to that a little bit later in the week. But what's interesting about this is that Iger really is just losing a grip with reality on how to make proper entertainment, and this just goes to show you that, look, whether you support Jonathan Majors or not, I know a lot of people have differing opinions on this guy and who's guilty and who's not, or what's going on with that whole situation, right? That's a whole nother subject to talk about. But there's no denying the fact here that Iger is losing basically all focus on the MCU and what it's all about and what direction they should take, and as opposed to what they were supposed to take years ago. And it's all falling apart before his very own eyes, and it's not good for his track record at all. And it makes you wonder, why are the board of directors just sitting back, crossing their legs, and saying, alright, just keep him on board, let Iger do what he wants to do, and just keep on destroying Disney through and through. Whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, doesn't matter, right? So overall, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this ongoing situation below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.